For quite a while, I've been a fan of shoot-'em-ups, from games like Phalanx on the SNES, Icargo, one of my favorite games of all time, and weird anime shoot-'em-ups like Automedia's Excellence on the 360. But there are some with legendary legacy, like this one. From the arcade to your home, Dariusburst Chronicle Saviours is an old-style, side-scroller shoot-'em-up. Originally released on the Sony PSPs as just Dariusburst back in 2009, it's a continuation of the series Darius, which the first game released back in 1987. Dariusburst would later get an arcade upgrade with Dariusburst AC, another Chronicle. And with this arcade upgrade, the machine is massive. Just like the original Darius is a multi-monitor arcade game, while 1987's Darius used 3 4x3 monitors, Dariusburst AC uses 2 16x9 monitors, and if you ever see a physical arcade machine, it's pretty cool. Dariusburst would later be released on phone as Dariusburst Second Prologue, where it's just a port of the PSP game with some sort of touch controls, and from what it looks like, it seems fine. It's $10 on the Google Play Store, which seems a bit steep for a mobile game, but the Darius games are usually never cheap, as you will see. Eventually, the game would finally get released at home as Dariusburst Chronicle Saviours. I'll be looking at both Steam release and the PS4 and Vita port for the game. I would like to thank Scarlett for spending $24.99 on a game that's not worth the full price to all, but for some, it might be. As you notice, this review is rendered at 32:9. As I am playing the PC version with 2 monitors just like the arcade, I'm sure it's the way that the devs wanted it to be played, as I assume because the gimmick of the arcade machine is 2 monitors. But I doubt the way I have it set up is the intended way, since I have my screen set up a bit apart, but it's surprisingly doable. I don't recommend it, but I can't force you, so do what works for you. For me, it just works. Now Dariusburst is your regular shoot-'em-up. You fly around, shoot shit, get upgrades from green, red, and blue orbs. You have a variety of ships to choose from, like the original ship from Darius, which I don't recommend. Each ship has its own quirk, where some can do the burst beam, some cannot at all. It all depends on which ship you pick. In the game, you go through 3 stages. Then at the end of every stage, you fight a boss themed to an aquatic animal, with the final boss at the end of stage 3. After each stage, you choose which side you want to go, with the bottom path being harder than the top, which makes it really replayable with its multiple endings. There is a story, and I can't really say much because I really don't play shmups for the story, but it's there if you need it. Now, since it is an arcade game, it is a quarter muncher, with some unfair deaths, but I'm sure it could be done with 1 quarter. Now the game, there is a lot of stuff that is lost in translation, where there's little info in the first loading area that's in Japanese, so get your phone out, use Google Translate, and translate that shit. But really, it's some slight issue that's really unnecessary, since the game is simple, it's just shoot, move, and burst. There are other game modes like CS mode, where you go through area to area to complete missions in the area, which usually means defeat the boss, or something in that area. It's a neat mode, and it's a cool time killer. There is a lot of DLC, and if you want it all, and it's not on sale, it could be about $90. If you don't want it all, each piece of DLC is about $5. The DLC for the game has its own mode where you can play as other ships, in a way like Harrier from Space Harrier and Delta Sword from Dodonpachi, where they have their own unique playstyle and they have their own levels. And the best part is they use the music from the games. Get ready. If you're a fan of those games, you'll probably enjoy the stages and the music, since it's ripped straight from them. I apologize for the quality. I only own some of the DLC for the PS version, and I'm too lazy to install it on PS4, so the PS Vita will have to do. Speaking of the PS Vita port, let's take a look at it. Released also on PS4, Dariusburst on Vita is really good, and all the fun Dariusburst on the go. With the real main issue being the screen resolution, as in a 32:9 game on a 16:9 540p 5-inch screen. So expect some screen crunch. But once you get over that, it's the full experience of the game, just on the go. Whenever it goes on sale on PSN, I recommend it, and if you buy the PS4 version, there is a cross-buy, so you get both, which is a definite bonus. Other than screen crunch, I can definitely recommend the Vita port, but I will say this, there is one glaring fact that the PlayStation ports don't have, and it's a big one. Now, since the game is an arcade game, by its heart, it's multiplayer, but only locally, which is where the Steam version comes in because of Steam Remote Play and Parsec compatibility. This game with 4 players is a fucking blast. Like usual, I would like to thank Sirius, Zexion, and Scarlett for joining me in this session. Like usual, it was a blast to play around and fuck around.
10 seconds.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I love Aegis Wings.
Oh,
Yo, you remember Aegis Wings from Xbox Live Arcade?
How does that work?
What?
For the gamers.
Wait, can you combine into one giant ship? Because if you could do that, that's really good Aegis Wings.
This is both.
wish.
Oh,
Overall, Dariusburst Chronicle Saviours is a great arcade shoot-'em-up with just one strange resolution. I can definitely recommend the game, just not at full price. Buy the game when there is a Steam or PlayStation sale because it's really fun, and I can't recommend it enough, but I can recommend it for $60. And maybe if you want all the DLC, go crazy, spend over $100 on this game, unless you're a die-hard shoot-'em-up fan, and if you are, you probably already own it. But I recommend it. I've been Fonzie. Hit the like button. If you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Fonzie's Revenge. Follow me on Twitch on twitch.tv/Fonzman, where I've been streaming more and most of my backlog. I'll see you on the next review.